Hey, if you're an entrepreneur just like me and are looking to increase profits in your business and have not considered taking cryptocurrency as a form of payment, you might be losing a ton of money on the table. And you're probably thinking, shoot, I want to increase my profits like you, Eric. How do I do it? Well, stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Hey, how are you doing today? My name is Eric, your abundant BFF. And as always, I am here to help you find freedom and abundance. Now, you might be wondering, gosh, Eric, why are you talking so much about cryptocurrency? Why are you talking so much about Bitcoin? Well, I've been an entrepreneur for the past 26 years and a tax strategist and a financial consultant for large entrepreneurs for the last 10. And if there's one thing that I've always realized is that many of us are trying to increase our profits without increasing our costs. So if there's a way where we could magnify how much we're taking home for our families without dramatically increasing how much we're paying in terms of expense, sounds like a home run, right? Now, the one thing that I've always known to be true is that the US dollar rarely goes up in value. Why? Because we have this magical thing called inflation. Inflation is basically the decrease in purchasing power of your dollar year over year. The Coca-Cola can that you purchased a year ago for $1 now costs you $1.25. Your purchasing power has decreased. Now, if you've been watching the news, you may have heard that Elon Musk and Tesla purchased $1.5 billion of Bitcoin to put on their balance sheet. And we talked about a balance sheet strategy and an asset strategy in a previous video. Elon also stated that he's looking to start accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for all of their products, whether it's the vehicles or solar panels or the Tesla grid and stuff like that. Now, why did he do that? Is he really just some crazy madman genius? Or was there really method to the madness? Was there practical financial analysis happening when they had made this decision? Let's dive into the numbers and let's explain how this all came together. Before we do that, let's first talk about inflation, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Again, inflation is the decrease in spendable power of your dollar over time. Now, many of us as business owners, we accept US dollars as cash for the services that we provide to others. Like, for example, we provide advanced tax strategy consulting. We provide advanced fractional CFO work for others. We get paid in US dollars. Now, for years, entrepreneurs that worked overseas would receive payment in US dollars, but pay for their expenses in local currency. That is because they wanted to keep the strength of the US dollar for how much they brought in for income, but they wanted to cover expenses using international money or other local currencies. And that's why you see a lot of companies like US-based companies, they manufacture overseas. So their expense factor is denominated in those currencies, but they're taking in revenue from US-based citizens, preserving their purchasing power. Now, the challenge that we have right now is because of all the stimulus, because of COVID and all of these things, and just history in general, the amount of money that's been printed in the United States has gone through the roof. The St. Louis Fed reports every single year a report called the M2 money supply. M2 basically states how much money has been printed per year, year over year. And it has been hockey sticking in the last 8 years, meaning there's a ton more supply, but the demand of US dollars is constant. Now, as we all know, basic economic theory, when you have too much supply and not enough demand, the value of the currency drops. So now let's look at an exact example of why you as a business owner should consider accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment. All right, so let's dive into the numbers. Let's look at two example P&Ls, or profit and loss. Now, if you're a business owner, a profit and loss statement just basically shows your revenue minus your expenses to determine what your net profit is. Your gross revenue minus expense equals net profit. So let's say, for example, you're a consultant or you had a consulting company and you brought in $50,000 of cash revenue. Now, let's say, for example, the inflation rate was 5% per year. A lot of economists are projecting it's actually higher than that because there's a hidden inflation. The published inflation rate right now is probably about 2 or 3%, but it's probably north of that. I think it's north of 5% to be honest. But let's say we had 5% inflation. That means your spendable $50,000 is really only worth $47,500 in terms of pure spending power. Now, let's say you had $25,000 of expenses. Your net profit at the end of the year of spendable dollars is $22,500. Now, let's look at it from a cryptocurrency example and why I think accepting Bitcoin or Ethereum, at least the big majors, that have more price stability might be a worthwhile thing to utilize in your business. Let's say you had $50,000, but instead of cash or check or credit card, you instead collected $50,000. First of all, for business owners, in a wallet-to-wallet transfer, there's typically very little fees. You don't have the 3% MasterCard Visa card fee, which is a pretty good saver there. On top of that, when clients pay you wallet to wallet, there are no chargebacks. Now, as a business owner, I run a pretty reputable business, but we all know that chargebacks happen sometimes, and oftentimes it happens from a situation that's not your fault. So cryptocurrency, accepting it, no chance of chargeback. Pretty good one. Now, let's say, for example, same example, 5% inflation, that would reduce your spending power by 47.5. And let's say that coin that you accepted payment in, you held it inside of a cold wallet or a hard wallet or whatever, and it appreciated by 10% for the year. Now, we both know, and all of us know, that Bitcoin and Ethereum has been appreciating dramatically higher than that. But let's just use 10% for a conservative number because there is volatility in the market. Let's say it appreciated by 10%. You have $52,250 spending power. Let's say you have the same expense of $25,000. Your net profit for your business based on this transaction is $27,250. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you look at the difference, there's a $5,000 difference, or we call it a delta. The difference is $5,000 just by accepting cryptocurrency, assuming this situation. Now, we're not even talking about what if the cryptocurrency holdings double in value, which we've seen. And I'm not saying that it's always gonna happen, but let's say they double in value. Or let's say they just go up in value by 50% by the end of the year. You could instantly see how you could magnify the profits of your company just by accepting a different form of payment than cash. Imagine if you're an international company, you're receiving cryptocurrency in US denomination, but you're paying your expenses in local currency. I have a lot of clients who are nomadic travelers and they live in countries like Guatemala, Costa Rica, Bali, and they pay their employees in Balinese dollars, local dollars, at a much dramatically less expense, but they're accepting US denominated dollars. In that situation, you could magnify your gains, you could magnify your profits. And again, you aren't increasing your cost. You aren't increasing what you have to do for fulfillment. All you're doing is flipping the switch and accepting cryptocurrency as a payment instead of cash. And you could clearly see just in this one example, there's a 10% from 50 grand, there's a 10% increase in what you've collected. As an entrepreneur, like you and I strongly recommend you considering accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Now, will all of your clients accept it or utilize it? Probably not, but we're starting to see even Visa and MasterCard have been rolling out plans to allow vendors to receive cryptocurrency as payment, which is huge. So with that said, again, my name is Eric Niem. I am your abundance BFF, and I am always here to help you find freedom and abundance, whether you're an investor, an individual, or an entrepreneur like myself. We put up videos every single week. I invite you, if you have any questions on cryptocurrency, on money, on business finance, corporate finance, throw those bad boys in the questions and comment section below. I try to answer every question that pops in. Make sure to smash that like button over there and hit subscribe and share this video out to any of your other friends that may be running a business that are looking to magnify their profits without increasing how much work they need to do, because that's all we really want to do. We want to make more money, work less, don't we? With that said, I hope you have an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Peace.